I don't care what anybody says. I played this game for 14 years. Is it legal? Absolutely. Was it dirty? 1,000%. And when I played, had someone did that to my defensive back and I saw it, I'm going to get their defensive back. I believe in an eye for an eye. And so you try to injure my guy, I'm definitely going to try to injure one of yours. That's just the way it is.
So the first thing I wrote down was maybe Harry Douglas broke an unwritten rule, but he did not break a rule.
No,
because by the letter of the law, I can't call that dirty. And I've been covering this game since the middle 1970s, and I've seen a lot of cheap shots before, and that wasn't close to the cheapest of the cheap shots that I have seen because there was no flag thrown on the play, correct?
Just because a flag is not thrown, Skip, doesn't mean it wasn't cheap or dirty.
Okay, so let's recount what happened. Derrick Henry is running with the football into the pile, but he's not down yet. The play is still alive, and he is still moving. And for all Harry Douglas knows, he could bounce it out that direction because they are near the pile. So he comes, and again, I get that it's breaking the unwritten rule that you're talking about, but he faced up Chris Harris Jr. He faced him up. He got in front of him. He didn't come from behind. Talib said he chops guys from the back. That wasn't chopping a guy from the back.
That's from the side.
But it's face up. He looked him right in the eye, and Harry Douglas said after the game, I looked him right in the eye,
but let me ask you
and then I dropped down and just tried to take his feet out from under it.
If he thought Derrick Henry was coming towards him, is that as fast as he plays? If he thought the play was coming that way, look at him. He's jogging. Chris Harris Jr. Now, you would think Chris Harris Jr., if Derrick Henry was coming that way, Chris Harris Jr. is going to move a lot faster than what he's doing. Harry Douglas is going to move a lot faster than what he was doing. That was the thing. You're right. He looked him in his eye.
He did.
So Chris Harris is thinking, okay, you look at me in my eye, okay, everything cool. And then he drops down and hits the man on the knee.
Okay, but do you want him to hit him in the head? Do you want him to go Odell on Josh Norman when Josh is standing at the pile and gets blindsided?
Hit him in his chest. He's right there.
He drops down and he rolls underneath him. And again, is it borderline cheap? I'll give you borderline. Is it breaking an unwritten rule for a receiver? Yes. But let's frame this with the bigger picture of what was happening. The Broncos got whipped at Tennessee.
Yes.
That's some sour grapes are operating there. Some loser's lament is operating there.
They were losing in the first half. The team, you have to understand now, they ran the ball. Marcus Mariota was 7 of 20 for 88 yards.
6 of 20 for 88. Yeah,
okay, so
the
back end.
They did what they're supposed to do.
Okay,
yeah.
So don't pretend like Aqib Talib would have never done what he did had that guy not did what he had done. Guys are going to protect one another. When they say, this is my brother, they spend more time with those guys in that locker room than they do with their own family. And if you were to harm their own family, they're going to react a certain way. When you will harm one of their players, one of their teammates, they're going to react a certain way. The only problem that I got is that Emmanuel or DT didn't take. Hey, I believe in retribution. And I know the NFL doesn't like that. I'm not putting no bounty out on nobody. I'm going to handle it. Whatever you do to if somebody hit John in the legs, John, you okay? Don't worry about it. We got this. All I'm going to do is go to Mike. I'm going to say, Mike, run text, which is a cross block on the DN. Whoever did it, just run that. You want a cheap shot? Don't worry about it. Hey.
Okay, but John's going to get hit when John isn't watching, right? His eyes are going to be downfield.
As long as you hit him in his chest and you didn't hit him in his knees, it's fine. If you cut Atwater, if you cut one of my DBs, Ray Crockett, if you cut them in that manner, I am going to pay you one of your guys back. That's plain and simple. If you try to hurt one of mine, I'm definitely trying to hurt one of yours, Skip.
Yeah, but over the last 2-3 years, all I've heard from either DBs or receivers is we don't know what's right anymore. The DBs say, should we go high or go low? And most of the DBs are saying, well, I guess we have to go low now because they won't let us hit high because you're going to get helmet to helmet, right? So Harry Douglas is going low like that's the new rule. That's the new way.
But Skip, that doesn't apply to an offensive guy. Offensive guy is not trying to hit nobody in the head, but you're not going to hit somebody in the knee in the open field. They've even cut down that in the interior line where guys going at lineman legs. And you're talking about somebody that's maybe not even a yard across from you, and they're trying to clean up leg hits because guys were getting injured so much. This is in the open field. Skip, they're jogging. Skip, there was no way if he thought Derrick Henry was about to bust that play and he's lollygagging. Chris Harris can see the play. He's obviously see the guys that got him tackled. That's why he's slowing down. He's out of jog.
But within the interior line, they don't like crackbacks. They don't like sideways blocks where you get hit sideways into your knees.
Yes.
But this was just your classic, I'm going to go low and undercut you. And again, there are referees standing everywhere. You are right by the pile. You're 3 or 4 feet from the pile.
I give it.
Why didn't they flag it?
Because
why didn't 3 flags fly?
It's a legal play. Two things can be. Let me ask you a question. When Calais Campbell hit Cam Newton in his knees, was it a legal play, Skip? No, it wasn't legal. Was a flag thrown? No. In this case, 2 things can be true. It can be legal. It's well within the rules of what the NFL says is acceptable.
Yep.
Was it dirty? Absolutely. Find one DB, find one that says that play wasn't dirty, and I'm done with it. Find one defensive player.
Well, I know, but they're like a brotherhood. They would all say that's a dirty play.
And everybody
said, let's find a bunch of receivers and say, if you face a man up and drop down and just take his legs out from under him, is that okay? And I think they would say it's okay. A wide receiver, maybe a tight end wouldn't say that, but a wide out.
Well, let me ask you a question, Skip. If I'm looking you in the eye, I'm thinking you're about to hit me in my chest. I'm not thinking you about to drop down and take my knees out from under me.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, all is fair in love and football. Like, you better be ready. You always say keep your head on a swivel. You don't even have to swivel on this one. He is coming to you.
That's what I'm talking about. So guess what? From here on out, you send my DB out for a play, I'm trying to send yours out for the rest of the game.
Okay. But Harry Douglas is a little guy, right? He's about measly Beasley size.
Okay.
Right?
Sometimes, we used to get whippings. My brother would get a whipping sometimes when I did something wrong, even though it wasn't his fault. So you know what? Even the guy that I'm going to take his knee out, he didn't do anything to me. He got a better burden for what Douglas did. Because then I want him to think, when he's laying up there and he has to put an ice pack and he has to get treatment on his knee, I want every time Harry Douglas brought this on you.